Hello VOD channel, make sure to like and subscribe if you like the VODs. This one's gonna be a fun one, I think. So I'm pretty sure this is the game that I hit Grandmaster with. So obviously I haven't been playing that much this set. I've kind of spaced out my games a lot. That's mostly because I don't like the set. So I've been like playing it like bad medicine basically. But this is going to be a Fast 9 style game that's actually going to be very similar to some of the guide that I put out on the main channel. So if you watch the main channel video and you're here, welcome. But this is going to be me flexing between Volibear and Jinx and transitioning into a Fast 9 style of board. And I'm going to basically delay that Fast 9 or like delay after a little bit of rolling and play around that. So it's a pretty fun, interesting game. I'll try and make some interesting tips to it. And, you know, sorry that it took me so long to hit Grandmaster this set. Usually I hit it a little bit earlier. It's the same amount of games played, right? I played 200 games and I hit Grandmaster. It's just that usually, like, you know, if I'm enjoying myself, I usually can play like 100 to 200 games within the first month of TFT, like the set being out. But I've just been taking frequent breaks. Like I played Silk Song, I played other stuff. So, you know, hopefully it's understandable. But I did it for you guys, right? I didn't want to quit without hitting Grandmaster because I didn't want you guys to think that I'm a scrub. But anyways, when we're looking at prismatics, unexpected expectedness, you should always think of it as a really solid econ option. A lot of the cash outs for expected unexpectedness is a lot of gold, and this is going to be a triple prismatic game. So I want to take something that's going to set me up for my future. So a lot of times, like buried treasures obviously is really strong if you already have a strong opener. Quality over quantity could be really strong. I know it's really strong with mech. We'll see somebody else play it with mech in this very game. Now mech is nerfed. This VOD is from when mech was still strong, so you know obviously there's gonna be less mech players around. But expected unexpectedness is a great way to have a decent opener as well as to set yourself up for later if you don't get something crazy broken with expected unexpectedness. So we're gonna rip it. This is really sad. I got 6-1-6. If I got 6-2-6, I would get a free fawn. I'd basically be winning the game instantly because there's an Easter egg where you're like, if you high roll the exact 6-2-6, that's TFT's birthday, like June 26th or whatever, and you get like some crazy cash out. But I didn't get it. So, you know, sad. I was one off, you know, story of my life. But anyways, I get a Leona off my first drop, and then I'm going to see what else I get. I get a Jinx. So Jinx is actually really strong early game, because she's just like really reliable at just doing damage, right? Especially if you roll a good fruit on her. Here, I see the chance of me having a strong opener, obviously, because I have the Leona. Leona is really hard to kill. Jinx is really hard to deal with. Now, if you don't get 4 costs that are easy to play around, you could just sell them. But I'm basically playing this for the win streak, right? As you can see, I play Leona Rel. I play the Gnar. Gnar gives me Sniper. Jinx, I slam a Giant Slayer. You can't go wrong. Giant Slayer is super flexible. And it's just a really good item. I'm basically going to be insanely hard to deal with. Look at this Leona. She has 0 items. She's impossible to kill. And we still have the Jinx that's ramping up and doing damage. Here you'll notice I took Golden Edge on Jinx. I think I kind of panicked. This is probably the first mistake. I should have taken a damage dealing fruit. You'll probably notice that in a couple rounds I'll actually waste a fruit remover because I'm scared that I'm going to lose my streak, and I would rather have guaranteed my my streak in this early stage too. But this is an example of a high roll opener that usually allows you to play towards a Fast 9 style of board, right? Obviously, if you hit something really good like this, I have a really strong front line, a really strong back line. There's gonna be very few boards that can beat me unless they have like a really powerful combat style prismatic that's just making them really strong. But also I lucked out that I was able to slam an item, right? It's an early game. There was no items, right? I just had the sword and the bow, right? Most people only have 2 components. I should be able to chew through most players. If you want to see another tempo augment that people could take is something like Build-A-Bud, right? Build-A-Bud is typically extremely strong, but if you look at this guy's Build-A-Bud, he doesn't have damage on his back line. Even with the Garen, I probably win this because a Garen 3 versus a Leona is so obnoxious early because she has so much shielding that if you're not able to kill her like that, she just keeps shielding. And what makes her really strong is that, like, in early game, people don't have like triple items on a unit that they do enough damage to overdo her shielding. That's what makes her really good. And a lot of 4 cost front lines are kind of like that, but I find Leona especially because she also has the armor, is just really hard to deal with. So we beat Garen 3. That means that we're probably going to win streak this stage. If I wanted to psycho level here, I would level to 5, but I'm thinking more along the lines of like making econ because I can just sell some stuff. Starting with Leona as well, it means I'll probably lean myself into like a Twisted Fate Bastion style board towards the end of the game, right? Whatever you hit, like obviously this is a board where I can just play Bastion Jinx, and then I can go from Jinx Bastion into Bastion TF. So it's a very easy game, or very easy plan for this game. I'm not necessarily going to say it's an easy game just yet, unless we high roll a little bit more, but it's something that we can just kind of coast with and kind of just like rock as an opener. One of the key important things is just understanding how strong these units are, right? I have a little bit of experience with it because I've seen it before, so I kind of know, like, oh, if I see these particular 4 costs, I know how to play around them. Some of them are a little bit harder, like Akali sometimes isn't that good early game unless she has items, but you know, it depends, of course, it depends. But in this setup, I'm fine. The only thing I trolled for sure is Golden Edge. I should definitely have taken a damage thing on Jinx. I just don't think there was a good damage one. So I thought, oh, maybe I can get some econ because I know I'm going to be strong anyways, right? Like right now I'm playing down a fruit, but I think I get stressed. I just end up using a fruit remover anyways to get something better. Just because, like, you know, I don't want to risk it, if that makes sense. But anyways, we're just trying to win streak. We're trying to do our best, trying to be strong as can be. How's everybody's weekends and stuff going? Everybody have plans? Tomorrow's Halloween. My plan was on stream. I was gonna try and play some Chainsaw Man songs on bass. I had a Halloween tradition of like doing a Halloween concert. I used to play all the Chainsaw Man songs because I learned them all. I did that like when the anime first came out. So like. Right now, I could play Iris Out. Like, I learned it. It's not too hard. I learned it in the last couple days because I was bored. But my shoulder hurts because I have a bum shoulder. I dislocated it. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it tomorrow. But if you guys stop by my stream, we're mostly doing art now. I might do it tomorrow as well. Here you'll see I use the fruit remover, by the way. So I want to take something. I hit Gather Force. That's like pretty much Jinx's best fruit. Even without the Shojin, these early game fights last long enough that I'm basically just going to win out. So you might look at it and say, like, why did you use your fruit remover? Mostly because I'm an idiot because I didn't take a damage fruit. But I'm looking at the people in my pool. There's one guy that's 100 HP. And there's the other players that aren't that strong. I just don't want to chance it, right? Golden Edge is taking way too long to generate the gold. So it's not worth it. Like I was hoping maybe I can wait to get like a gold proc and I can put myself in a really high roll spot. But I'd rather just guarantee being strong, right? When you're strong, you want to take things that continue to make you strong. A real big part of it is just like constantly being on top of things, right? If you're losing, you want to lose. If you're winning, you want to win. So if I'm winning and I take something that makes me not strong, that I don't want to win with, then it's like, what are we really doing here? It's like, you know, it doesn't make sense to the strategy that's thing, like holistically. Here was the next high roll. I hit a Volibear. So I pretty much have my level 8 board on stage 2. So I'm not going to lie, this game, kind of a fucking scam, right? You don't need to be good at the game to understand that this is a fucking good spot. But a lot of it's just recognizing it. But as you can see, I have really good synergies. I have Bastion. I have Luchador in now. If I find a Shen, I can get Bastion and Edgelord in. I can stabilize really hard on level 7, which is the next time that people might power spike, especially if they're re-rolling. So a lot of my game is really easy. I also didn't fight anybody that's particularly strong. But as you can see, like, I'm just like taxing the lobby a lot. There's nobody that's really going to be a threat to me. And a lot of it started with unexpectedness. Now, like I said, if you don't like the forecast that you get with it, or if you get some of the other cash outs, a lot of times you get a lot of gold with it. So I'm in an okay spot no matter what, right? If I was playing unexpectedness and I didn't like my stuff, I would be up like 10 gold, right? Because I would just sell everything and I would just be making econ. I treat it like an econ augment that cashes me every couple turns. So it's one of those things where it's like it feels very RNG, but the balancing on it is pretty spot on. I like it a lot. And it's pretty generic of something you could take and not really go wrong. It's one of those prismatics where you don't have to really think about it. It's like, yeah, this is like good most of the time. It's like, I can just click this as an opening prismatic augment. But anyways, we obviously high rolled the Volibear. That helps out quite a bit with the board. But either way, we're relatively strong. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Holding on to some extra units. Shen's going to be my next in. Even if I'm not playing 4 Bastion, you know, Shen's going to give Edgelord, and he's going to still get armor from the Bastion synergy. And here I'm just going to focus on econ and then leveling when I can. This part here, you know, of course, I look at my items. I don't really want to make a Declaw. Like, it's just not that great of a frontline item, especially if I'm playing Bastions. They already have a bunch of resistances. If I'm trying to continue to win streak, it would make sense to slam an item. You might notice that I'll slam an item once I see who I'm fighting. Here, you know, obviously the strongest thing to take is TG. Strikers make sense as well in some cases. Shojin also makes sense if I'm going for Jinx item to make her particularly strong. So, like, you know, with Gather Force. But because I have the Volibear, I would rather just, what's it called? Slam the TG on the Volibear. Oh, here I slam. Okay, I'm waiting a second. Yeah, I slam it now. So I was waiting. I think I was supposed to put Glove on Jinx. Okay, let me explain. There's a little bit of a mistake there and a little bit of nuance. So I should have put Glove on Jinx because Glove is normally going to be an offensive component in this type of setup. So I don't want to risk losing, and I don't know how strong this player is, especially with the Edge of Night on the Kale. It's hard for me to judge. I should win no matter what, but I don't want to take a chance. This is a little bit of being scared. So I slammed the QSS on the Jinx. Now I put the Cloak on the Jinx first. That's not very good because the Cloak is more of a defensive item. So I should have put the Glove on the Jinx because if I didn't want to slam, it wouldn't be that bad to like leave the Glove on the Jinx. You know, like I can make an IE later or something like that. But I make QSS. Now QSS is fine. Also, because I'm planning on playing around Twisted Fate. Remember what I said? We're playing Jinx. We're not going to play Jinx for the rest of the game. I'm in a good spot. Oh, sorry. I accidentally minimized. I'm in a good spot, right? I'm in a good spot. I probably am high rolling, right? I'm doing really well. I have a lot of econ. As you can see, expected unexpected. It dropped me gold on its next cash out. I'm level 6, 50 gold, bunch of 4 costs on my board. I'm in a good spot. I'm going to try and go level 9. If I go level 9, I'm going to want some sort of attack speed item on the Twisted Fate. So a QSS is fine because it's like kind of like a knockoff Guinsoo, right? So with those components, it's okay, right? Twisted Fate doesn't really like IE or those type of items. So if I'm playing this Bastion variation, those are like 2 really good Twisted Fate items, so I'm down to slam it. So that's why I'm eager. I'm like okay with it. It's not like in complete grief. It's like okay in this spot. It's just the order of operations there was like a little bit too decisive, if I wanted to say. Right, I think I was already, but by me, like I could tell from me putting the Cloak on the Jinx, I was already committed to making the QSS. You should always look and see who you're fighting, because if you can greed 1 extra round, then you can greed 1 extra round. Now this round, obviously, I don't think it's a QSS dip. I probably could have greeded an extra round, which we're gonna see why that matters a little bit coming up here, because the next augment that I'm gonna click is gonna be something that might require a glove. But anyways. Lucky Gloves is here. So Ascension is pretty useless. Messall I think is a fucking joke. I don't know why it's still in the game. I can't imagine it ever being good the entire patch, or the entire set, but maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. Looking at these options, Lucky Gloves, I had to roll the left 2, so it makes sense. Bronze for Life could make sense in a lot of spots, but what you should always think about, even if I had other options here, Lucky Gloves is a great option. Number 1, I already have a Thieves Gloves on my Volibear, so I would just get 2 better items with that. And then I can use the Thieves Gloves to itemize my Leona, which is another 4 cost. I have units to put the Thieves Gloves on, which is very meaningful and impactful. The second thing that's really important is that whenever you're strong, you want to continue to be strong, right? If I'm win streaking, I don't want to take an augment that immediately makes me start lose streaking. I don't want to take something that just like takes all the tempo, all of the board strength I have and just yeets it out the window. I want to be able to continue the tempo, continue the pacing that I'm doing in the game. So seeing Lucky Gloves here, that's a tempo style augment. It's not something that's going to be max cap great for me because it doesn't give me a lot of value as a prismatic, right? If you look at it as a prismatic, it gives you a Thieves Gloves. That's the same as like a fucking gold augment or like a silver augment. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, the Lucky Gloves part of it is part of its power budget, which makes it really good. But late game, if you can get 3 good items on a carry, it's going to be better than 2 lucky items on the carry because 3 items is going to be better than 2. So it's like, it's kind of like this awkward thing where it's like it raises your power really hard when you first click it. But as the game progresses, it starts to feel worse and worse unless you have like a Giga Exodia setup where you have like 100 TGs, because then it's just like absurd because you itemize everybody and you have 100 threats. But I digress, right? Either way, it's a correct decision here for me at least, because now my Volibear gets good items. I get a second Thieves Gloves, which I can put on the Leona. Now, the only problem is I wasted a glove on the QSS, which might have been a really good item, like another great item, like another Thieves Gloves for another carry is what I mean to say, right? Because I used a glove. Here, I just pushed the level. I look at my pool. Right now, this one is a little bit informed. It looks like I didn't scout and I level. I always say whenever you're doing any decision, scout and make sure it makes sense with your lobby. I don't have to scout because the 3 people that are in my pool are the 3 strongest people, like the 3 people with the most HP. You can see on the side the little X's. So I look at that, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Like I'm going level, I'm leveling up here. Because, like, I'm still making 30, right? 30, I'm going to make 40 next turn. I'm going to make 50 the turn after. I'm extremely rich because of expected unexpectedness. That's why I always say it's a really good augment, because either it drops you gold or it puts you in a good spot. Both of them are really good. So I'm fine. I level here. I get to play 4 Bastion. It's a big power spike, right? Now I'm 4 Bastion, Volibear Jinx, and I'm 100 streaking. In a great setup, in a great spot. So we're definitely going to be able to beat a lot of these players. Now I'm doubles checking the scouting to see how I want to position any of these fights. I want to move my Volibear a little bit off to the side so I don't get stuck in one of those matchups. But it's totally fine. Jinx's Gather Force as well. So this 4 Bastion is going to make it so that the Jinx is going to ramp up and do an insane amount of damage. But yeah, we should be able to beat everybody. We're going to very easily establish our econ back up to 50 as well. We're level 7 on like, what, 3-2? Like, we're in a good spot. It's probably going to be a fast 9 game no matter what we do. Just a matter of how much we want to roll or how stable we think we are on stage 4. And then using the rest of our gold in order to make it to level 9 and roll all our gold on level 9. As you can see, I'm putting in the team planner, right? Of course, I always leave my options open. But when I'm really committed, then I put everything in the team planner to make sure that I don't fuck it up later in the game. Right? Just like, you know, being a good game player type of beat. Anyways, could also hold the Karma here. I had a second Leona, which is great, because now I'm Leona paired. I'm scouting around to see like what I have to deal with in this lobby. There's a lot of mech players, which are a little bit scary, and there's a lot of players that are trying to similarly just try and be like in a fast 9 kind of spot. But that's kind of how the patch was. Of course, mech now is no longer good. This VOD was from a couple days ago, so mech was just patched like yesterday. So, you know, not much else has changed with it, but hopefully it's still a little bit relevant in terms of what we're talking about or doing here. But anyways, I think we could skip a little bit. Sorry, because like there's not much that goes on here. I think I end up losing a fight on this stage, and I actually want to look at why I lost that fight, because that one actually shocked me when I was playing the game, because it broke my win streak. I think it was this fight actually. I think this guy just really high rolled. So, or did I lose against this guy? No, I think I win against this guy as well. Am I crazy? Like, I'm just railing everybody with this TG. Yeah, I win this. Do I 10 streak? I vaguely remember losing around here. Here I just put double strike on Volibear. I just want anything that does damage. I think double strike is fine. Do I lose to this guy? No. Do I 10 streak? Oh, I do 10 streak. Okay, I was confusing this with a different game. I thought I lost a round. I put a note to review it. But anyways, here we just take our neutral rounds. We get all of these item drops. I get my last proc of the thing. My last proc of expected unexpectedness. And then here, as you can see, I roll a little bit, right? I'm gonna go fast 9, don't get me wrong, but I'm rolling to stabilize, right? I'm Leona paired. I found a Braum. I'm trying to find some extra units here. Ideally, I can get 6 Bastion in, which is what I'm looking for. I don't think I have it on deck. Oh, now I found the Swain. I think, oh, I should stop maybe. Now I'm Volibear paired. I'm paired on a lot of units. I should probably stop rolling. I should stop rolling once I had 6 Bastion, but that's why I was rolling, right? This is what I always say, right? I had 80 gold, level 8. I could be 9 in 2 or 3 turns. But what's more important than being 9? It's making sure that all these fucking mech players die, right? Now, obviously, the mech players, you know, you can argue like, well, whatever, you know, don't play mech, don't like, you know, like, blah, 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 like, who cares, right? But like, the thing is, it's like, from here, the only way I lose rounds is if I don't stabilize. Now, obviously, I can roll even deeper for Volibear 2 and Leona 2 because I'm paired on both of them, so there's a good chance that I hit them, especially if uncontested. But finding the Braum early and finding 6 Bastion is going to make it so that on stage 4, I'm not going to lose many rounds hard because the 6 Bastion is such a large power spike to making my front line stable that my Jinx is going to have a way easier time doing damage. The rest of my board is going to have a way easier time stabilizing. These are things that matter quite a bit. Now here, I think I mess up my items. I think I mess up my items a lot. I made a Bramble and then I just reforged the raw Bramble because I don't think I need frontline items. That's the main thing here, right? I don't want to make tank items because I have 6 Bastion in. 6 Bastion is basically my tank. So I just reforged both the brambles because none of the brambles are going to turn into a damage item in my opinion. Now I could make like a protector's valve for Braum or stuff like that, but I'd rather just focus on making as many damage items as possible. So I just raw reforge it. If I get AP items, that's fine. I could put AP on a Seraphine or a Twisted Fate. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with damage items AD because I'll just put on the Jinx for now, and then I can move it to somebody else later. So the only thing I don't want is tank items here. AD items are fine, AP items are fine, tank is bad. I also don't want to make utility items because I have, I'm hopefully going to play around Twisted Fate, which is going to get Noxious Trap, which gives me anti-heal, Shred, and Sunder. But here, okay, this I think is a huge mistake. Now, I don't know. I have one more Reforger. I think here, I made a mistake. I got baited by stats, which I'll talk about in a second. But basically, I'm trying to make a set of 3 Seraphine items. I'm trying to make 3 items for an AP carry because I have AP items, right? I have the Rabadons and I have a bunch of rods and other stuff. So I make Adaptive Helm, which I can put on Jinx. It helps her to cast. So Gather Force Jinx, she's going to do a bunch of damage. So Adaptive Helm. And then I make Archangels and I have the Rabadons from before. The problem is, I think Archangels isn't that good on Seraphine. And the other thing is that Adaptive Helm looks really good on Seraphine, but it's only in particular cases. It's only if you're playing Deep Prodigy Seraphine or if you're playing double Adaptive Seraphine with a bunch of Bastions. If you don't have it like that, then it's not good. You need to make like a blue buff on her. Blue buff is so much better on Seraphine in like the setup that I'm playing right now. So by me making Adaptive Helm, I'm thinking Adaptive Helm is going to be a good Seraphine item later. It turns out it's actually really bad, and you can really feel it in this game. So I think this is the beginning of the end of how I do not end up like, you know, well, we'll see what ends up happening this game, but I'm telling you guys now, that's going to be a problem for later. Now, in terms of the terms of what's going on here, I have many different options to pick, right? Bastion Circlet, I think is a little bit bait, but it does give me a Leona if I was playing purely for tempo or if I was in dire straits. You can take it to get the Leona too. Radiant Relics is also fine. I can get a Radiant item. That's a pretty big power spike. Invested, I don't think I need because I'm rich enough and I'm stable enough that I'm probably going to win a lot of rounds on stage 4, so I'm not even going to be like not healthy going into stage 5 or going into level 9. Hold the Line makes sense because I have a huge amount of frontline units. So if I wanted to combat, Hold the Line makes a lot of sense here as well. So that is a viable option. Now here, I'm going to do something that is... Oh, wait, I rolled it instantly? Why did I roll it? Does Hold the Line not work? I think that's a mistake. That's a mistake. I should have rolled Radiant Relics first. But I don't want Siren Egg Uplink. Here I go for Tomb Raider, right? If you look now, basically Tomb Raider. I always say you should almost never click Tomb Raider. But it's very different here, because when people are playing around mech, which obviously isn't the case nowadays, but you can extrapolate the same way. If you look around, and there's a bunch of mech players, and they're all like 10 HP, they're not all gonna top 4, right? They're gonna fight each other eventually, and they're gonna kill each other off. So you're gonna get Tomb Raider value. Tomb Raider starts by giving you 1 completed item. If you equate it to another prismatic, a prismatic gives you 6 components, right? Buried Treasure, it gives you 6 components, 3 and 3, right? So that means I need 3 items from Tomb Raider for it to be the value of a prismatic. I'm starting with a completed item, and if I look at my lobby and look, I'm gonna scout, and there's gonna be a guy who's like 7 HP, didn't hit a Yone, right? This guy doesn't have a Yone. Like, I'm not tripping, right? Doesn't have a Yone. Has, like, a couple Radiant items, sure. But doesn't have a Yone. So I'm not really worried. I think this guy's gonna die soon. So I just click Tomb Raider. Because there's that guy, and there's 2 other mech players that are sub 30 HP. So Tomb Raider, in this case, it doesn't synergize well with the strategy. That's why I was saying I shouldn't have rolled Hold the Line. Hold the Line makes sense because I just keep being strong and I'm really reliable and strong. However, I'm choosing to go level 9 now. So this is the part of the game where I'm not going to roll anymore. I'm not going to roll for Volibear 2. I'm not going to roll for Leona 2. I'm going to try and go level 9, and I'm going to manage my HP as a resource in order to make it to level 9. Tomb Raider, I'm assuming that because I'm looking at the lobby and I won 4-1 with my board already as is, I'm assuming that somebody's gonna die and it's gonna give me Tomb Raider value. Tomb Raider is a win condition, right? Right now, I took Lucky Gloves. So Lucky Gloves isn't necessarily a win condition. Lucky Gloves is like, it's like pretty shit, right? Because it doesn't really like do anything later in the game. So with Tomb Raider, however, that's something you can win out with, because if I'm up more than 3 items. Like, let's say I make it to final 2 or final 3. If I make it to final 3, I'm gonna make up so many goddamn items that I should basically just win the game on the spot. That's like the idea behind it. So it's like, it's very risky, but it's a risk that I can take because I have 100 HP. So I always recommend, it's probably not Tomb Raider, but in this case, this is an example of what I would say it is Tomb Raider, right? Because there's multiple people that are probably going to lose out. Not everybody can hit a Yone. I'm holding a Yone on my bench to grief the Yone players, so one of them's going to be dead. One of them's going to be dead in the next couple turns. There's no shot that they're going to be alive for the rest of the game, right? There's no shot. That would be so unlucky. So I think that it's good because I'll get the value of the prismatic, and then I can get the value of like 2 prismatics later in the game. Like, it's actually like insane in a spot where you can actually cash it out. Now, here's where I make my mistakes. First item that I should grab here. I didn't know Adaptive Helm was so fucking dog shit on Seraphine. That's my problem here. If I knew it was so bad on Seraphine relative to like a normal build, like in the way that I'm playing this unit, I would have taken blue buff. This is a huge mistake that I will definitely regret, but it's fine because I hit Grandmaster, so who cares? But this is the type of optimization that starts to matter immensely when you're trying to rank up in like Master and above. Stuff like this matters a lot. If you don't know exactly how the items function, you can get baited. And that's the thing, I got baited. I was lazy. I looked up some stuff ahead of time, but I didn't properly look them up with like excruciating detail. And that's because my head's not in the set. Like, I just don't find the set fun. I don't want to waste time looking at stats and stuff because I just don't fucking care, right? And that's the truth of it. But if I did fucking care, it was blue buff for sure. Because the Seraphine, the fucking Adaptive Helm is not good enough on Seraphine. Trust me, you need either 2 Adaptive Helms or you need to be playing Prodigy. I know that might sound obvious to some people, but to me, I looked at some builds and it looked like Adaptive was fine with 1 Adaptive Helm, but I just didn't deep filter for like all the specifics of it, which was my bad. Right? So I didn't take blue buff here. So what I end up taking, I think, is like Crown Guard. I'm like, fuck it, I guess I'll just make like some tank items. But the problem is when I start to take items that aren't damage items or aren't super helpful, or maybe I take Last Whisper, it's hard to say, right? Like, the problem is that when I scouted, somebody already had a TF. So I'm like, there's 2 sides in my head, right? One side of my head is like, what if you don't hit Twisted Fate and then I don't ever get Shred Sunder anti-heal because I don't have Noxious Trap? So I'm like, what if that happens? Right? That's really scary. So I was like, maybe I should take Shred Sunder. And then the other side of me is like, maybe I should build some tank items because I'm going to have a lot of tanks to itemize, so I'm going to need tank items later. Here I take Last Whisper. This is like the biggest like pussy move. Like, I don't know what to call it. Like, you can clearly see that I'm like partly panicking, but I think it's because I'm in such a high roll spot that I know that if I go first this game, I'm guaranteed like top like fucking 600 Grandmaster. Like, I'm very easily Grandmaster, you know what I mean? So I'm looking at this as like me understanding that I can finally stop playing this set of TFT, right? Like, the pressure isn't like, oh, you know, it's 1 game. The pressure is like, I can just never play this set again. And trust me, I get a good placement this game, I am not playing the set anymore. I do not like it, right? I know that like I'm your TFT coach or whatever. I'm supposed to like help you out with the game. The game fucking sucks. This is one of the worst sets of TFT ever. I stand by that. I don't care if you like it or not. Like, you can't change my opinion. I had fun doing art today. Right? I did art today. I was farting sunshine all day. I had such a beautiful, wonderful last couple days since I stopped playing this dog shit game. Because I'm not frustrated anymore with 100 fucking bugs and knowledge checks that I have to constantly spend every night Googling. I don't have to Google bugs anymore. Right? For the first time in like 3 months, I don't have to Google bugs. But anyways, all that pressure is why I'm making these stupid mistakes. So if you're actually trying to rank up in the game, and you're actually enjoying it and trying to get better, you shouldn't take Last Whisperer. You're like, don't pussy out. Just fucking get the good items for the Seraphine, get the good items for the TF, and fucking play the game properly, you dumbass. But that's like me being a dumbass, right? So I can very easily say this is the beginning of the downfall of this game. Obviously, I don't have an AP item holder as well. I put the items on Rel because I have a second copy of Rel on bench. So I put all the AP items on Rel. I could have put them on Swain, but I think Swain, it might be harder to upgrade sometimes. Everybody seems to hold on to Swain. This guy's winning fights. That's how you know this lobby is cooked. This guy won a fight before his Ascension procced. He has Ascension. Look at his second augment. This guy has Ascension as his second augment, and he won against somebody. He literally won against somebody. This lobby is so degenerate. I was expecting this guy to be dead this turn. How does this guy not die this turn? He's 6 mech. He's not even 7 mech. He's 6 mech, and he beat this guy so bad that he beat him before Ascension procced. He beat him down a Prismatic Augment. That's how weak this lobby is. That this guy, without 7 mech, is railing people. What are we doing here? I was so tilted when I was playing this game live because I was like, oh my god. Like, I looked at this guy's board and I said, like, this is a really important part of TFT, right? That guy, if he hits a Yone, he will win the game, right? Now, not anymore because mech is in balance, but this is part of the thing, right? When you saw me play the game, right? What did I do? What did I do this game, right? I said, I want to go level 9. And what did I do, chat? Think about it like a coach. Think of it from the coaching perspective. What do I tell you guys to do all the time? Roll a little bit. Like, why does nobody ever roll a little bit? It tilts me so much. Like, I looked at my lobby and I said, I want to make it to level 9. Did I just sit here like jerking off doing nothing? No, I rolled for 6 Bastion. Now, obviously, I stopped rolling. I didn't roll for Leona 2, Volibear 2, because I think that the lobby is weak as shit, which they are. As you can see, I'm winning the game, right? I beat this guy, but like all these people, they're sitting here with 50 gold, and they're just losing the game, and they're all gonna go bot 4. That guy who's 7 HP, somebody needs to kill him. If you see that in your lobby, you roll to stabilize. I rolled for 6 Bastion. If I fight him, if he beats me, whatever, but at least I tried to stabilize my board. You have to stabilize your board. You have to roll a little bit, because if you just go for the greed, that guy's gonna win anyways, right? If you're 20 HP and you're sitting there and you're not rolling any of your fucking gold, or even if you're 100 HP and you're not rolling any of your gold, if that guy finds a single copy of a Yone, he will win. He has radiant items feeding into the mech. It's the most broken comp in the game, and he has radiant items feeding into it. It is literally Exodia. It's unbeatable. Even me, I won't be able to beat it, but I rolled. You always have to do that. Like, it's so tilting. Like, these people, like I don't know, like, I'm assuming these are good players. Like, I looked up their accounts after, and some of them were challenger, but I just don't understand what happened this game, because like, that guy should be fucking in the dirt with 7 HP, not mech. Like, maybe it's just broke. It's so broken that it's like that it was broken with 6 with radiant items. I don't know, but like, that's what I always tell you guys, right? If you're playing a lobby, you have to look at what other people are doing, and you always have to stabilize. If you see people that have a win condition, deny it. If you see people that might be able to beat you later, those are the people you grieve. You roll, you make sure you're strong, so you tax those players, right? That's what made this last patch, when mech was strong, that's what was a big part of playing it, right? I gained like 400 LP on that patch, even though it was a 50-50 mech flip every game for everybody. And you know why? Because every single time that I went fast 9, I rolled on level 8, and I punished all the fools for just sitting there with their dick up their ass, just like waiting to see if they can make it to 9. Instead, I was sitting there with like 50 more HP than everybody else. They all killed each other off. All the mech players killed each other. There was one mech player left, and I just farmed seconds, and in some cases I just went first. That's a really important part of playing around fast 9 metas, as well as level 8 metas, right? You always have to make sure that you're stable first. Look at your board. If you're losing rounds, roll. If you're not losing rounds, then fine, go. That's why I'm not rolling, because I'm winning rounds, right? Why am I going to roll for Volibear 2 if I'm winning a round? But these players are just going to lose all their rounds, and they're just going to go 8th, and then they're just going to be like, oh, game's bad, I guess. I don't get it. Anyways, I'm not trying to flame the players, by the way. I don't know what happened in their particular circumstances, but like, please, like, if you could take one thing away from me telling you guys how to play the game, like with all my guides and stuff, it's always pay attention to what's happening in your game. That's like the main thing, and I hope that I made it illustrative and clear there. But you're gonna see what's gonna happen in this game. There's gonna be a bunch of players. They're gonna fucking die like rocks, and then I'm gonna be stuck dealing with that guy with the fucking radiant item mech. Anyways, this guy's Crystal Gambit, so I think I don't know if I beat him or not, because this guy just hit his win con. He hit a Zyra on level 8. I'm scouting this guy every turn to see if he hits 7 mech, because I know that as soon as he hits 7 mech, he wins the game. I might beat this guy as well. The Volibear is really good. If I had Volibear 2, I'd probably win this. But I think I win this. I know I lose a fight on stage 4. I just don't know which one it is. Look at this. I beat this Crystal Gambit guy. He found a Zyra. Big shit, right? I'm still strong because it's Gather Force, Jinx, Volibear. That's why I always say this board is very, very strong and very, very stable. Very, very reliable to play around. No Yone on Carousel. We're pretty happy about that. Don't have to worry about the Yone hitting. I do another scout. This guy's trying to go fast 9. Look, he didn't roll any of his gold, but I guess he does have 6 Bastion. Maybe he rolled a little bit, but he's carrying a freaking Ezreal. Like, not even trying to play anything. Like, what are we doing here, man? I guess he rolled a little bit because he has a Braum as well. I wonder what I do here, though. like I said, I also make lots of mistakes this game. I'm fighting a mech player potentially. I'm fighting another mech player potentially. I'm still holding on to this Yone just to grief all the mech players. Yone could also fit into my final board, by the way. It's not a full int, because I can always replace the Volibear with a Yone too. I don't know what's stronger, but it does depend on the items. Right, I think Volibear is stronger because of the Luchador. Just the stunning is really important. But anyways, I'm going to go level 9. I'm fighting this guy. This guy, I think, beats me now because the Yumi's probably going to outscale my board. So I'm pretty sure I lose against this guy. If I had Volibear 2, I probably win. If I had Jinx 2, I probably win. If I had Leona 2, I probably win. Right? Sitting on 3 pairs here, I should be rolling, right, if I want to win these rounds. But because the rest of the lobby is really weak, right, if you look at all of these players with like 1 HP, the rest of the lobby is so weak, I'm just playing for the win conditions. That's why I'm not rolling. If I was not 100 HP, let's say I was 40 HP, I would probably send it to 0 here, looking for all my upgrades. Like, I'm not even joking, right? But because it's in context, right, I don't have to roll for these 3 units because I'm pretty much winning every single fight. I think this is the only guy that beats me because he has a Yumi that scales. So I think out of all the players here, I think this is the only guy that can beat me because I just can't kill the Garen fast enough because I don't have enough DPS. Right? But even here, it's not even that. It's even close. Look at this. Look at this fight, by the way. Right? Like, if I like look at the Yumi. The Yumi has 5 HP. Like, I understand. Like, this was a thing. Like, even if I had a Swain 2, I probably would have won this fight. You know what I mean? But that's why I always say roll a little bit. But the problem is I just don't want to roll for these upgrades because I want to greed my gold. So maybe I should have. But now look, 2 players died. That's why I took prismatic, what's it called? The fucking prismatic, what's it called? Survivor, whatever it's called. Treasure hunt, whatever. I forget what the last augment's called. But I took that because, look, 2 people died already. I'm now equal to a prismatic level of power, right? Instantly, right? I have 3 completed items here. So we're totally fine to go for just pure, like, high cap now, because if another person dies, which hopefully one of them will before me because I'm 93 HP, I'm getting more value than a prismatic for my prismatic augment, because a prismatic augment should give you 3 items, and here I already have my 3 items. That's why I did this, because when you have all these mech players, they're all just gonna kill each other off anyways. Here though, I think this is where I mess up my items a bit, right? Spark is good if I just don't want to go for Twisted Fate. I think I'm just stressed about finding the Twisted Fate because I'm delaying my level 9. And then here, I have so many options to get a goddamn blue buff. And like I said, it's because I didn't know. Okay, I want you guys to know I didn't know that the blue buff was as important as it was on Seraphine. I thought Adaptive Helm was enough. I thought a single Adaptive Helm was enough, right? I thought it was possible. It's not. So I'm just taking items here. I'm thinking to myself, I can make some solid Braum items. And then I take the Jewel Gauntlet to make a Seraphine item. So I'm like, I could take either Archangels or Rabadons, and I can put that on Twisted Fate or Zyra, right? Because they have AP scaling, they're fine. And then I wanted Jewel Gauntlet, Archangels, and Adaptive Helm on Seraphine. That's like my goal for the itemizations. And basically, I'm going to go on 5-1. I'm going to level to, I'm going to level and I'm going to play my Fast 9 board. This guy hit mech, so it is what it is. This guy is already hitting a Twisted Fate. This is what I was scared of, right? This guy was greeting and he has level up, which makes it easier for him to get to level 9. So I was scared that's why I made that's why I'm just kind of panicking because I'm like scared that I might not find Twisted Fate, and then I'm trying to like figure out what my items could be in order to deal with the fact that my Twisted Fate might not have like the Shred Sunder utility stuff. But it's just weird because now my items are very like split, right? Like I'm hopefully gonna make some Braum items. Like my idea is that maybe I can make triple Braum items, triple Twisted Fate items, triple Seraphine items. I already have triple Twisted Fate, triple Seraphine items, so I'm working on potentially triple Braum items. But the only one that doesn't make any sense, the only item that's really bad here is that Last Whisper. That Last Whisper is absolutely fucking useless. Like, it actually is. So that's a problem, right? Because it doesn't work as a tank item, and it doesn't work, it's not a Twisted Fate item, it's not anybody's item, right? So it's really awkward. But anyways, let's continue. I don't want to make this video too long, but I thought that I can explain a lot of stuff in this video. I can make another TG ideally if I get a glove here, and then I can make a Gwinsu for Twisted Fate, I think is my goal. Here I'm doing my transition. I sell the Rel. As you can see, I put the items on the Rel so I can sell her. Now I'm going to roll. I'm going to hit all my units. right? I sell the Jinx instantly for the Twisted Fate. I probably could have held the Jinx and play it a little bit after. I'm a bit confused on who to play the Seraphine over, because I'm playing Volibear. That's why I'm confused. Usually you don't have Volibear on this board, or you don't have Volibear at this point. If I hit 2-star Zyra or 2-star Seraphine, then I'll like upgrade something. But this is fine for now. I messed up my items here. I wanted to put it's always Mage on Seraphine, but I wanted to put the Jewel Gauntlet on the Seraphine, so that's just my bad. And then here I go for double attack speed Twisted Fate, which I think is fine, but I have the Rabadons anyways, and then I go for Glove for another TG. So I think my items are fine, but the problem is, like, when you look at the leftover items here, I'm not going to have, like, a full tank item. I lose to Crystal Gambit. This guy's scaling. It's fine. It'll be a bit of a rough turn. Right, my turn wasn't perfectly flawless, so it's a little bit awkward. We're going to continue to roll here. We should hit some stuff. And then as soon as I have Seraphine, as soon as I have Seraphine 2, Zyra 2, I sell Volibear. And then I can play Zyra because I don't need the Volibear anymore. And I can just TG Lucky Gloves the Zyra. So I have all my Lucky Gloves. I need to fix my Seraphine items. This is what I was saying. You're going to notice my Seraphine is going to take forever to cast. That's going to be the main reason why my board isn't as high cap as it is. I put the TG on that unit. I didn't get my Noxious thing. I have to roll for Noxious on Twisted Fate here. It is what it is. And then look at my items. My items are really, really awkward. I want to put these on Swain. Yeah. Swain TG. So I have lots and lots of frontline. I reforged the Rabadons. But this was a panic, by the way. Right? I reforged Rabadons. I should have reforged the Rabadons with the thing. I should have reforged Rabadons with the Last Whisper. Right? But I just wasn't fast enough. So now I wasted my Reforger. And I got another useless item, which is really bad. Right? So if we look here, right, now I'm gonna get Noxious, right? You can't miss it, right? You just need a couple removers. My board, I lost a couple rounds here, but I'm still relatively stable. It's just a matter of, like, I just need to, like, get my fruits and my whole board in order. As soon as it's in order, I'm fine. But anyways, I put the TG on Braum. I put Sterix on this guy, just triple item him, and I'm gonna eventually try and move them. But this is the problem now, right? As you can see, this Last Whisper that I made, like, already the Morello is one thing that's bad, but this Last Whisper being here is a huge detriment. Because remember what I was talking about with my Prismatic Augment. If I get more items, I am up a Prismatic on the lobby, right? I said I have 3 items that I cashed out from my Augment. I forget what it's called. Sorry, I'm blanking. It's been a long day, right? With those items, right? That's me saying that's my value of my Prismatic. But you have to ask yourself, is it really the value of a Prismatic? Because 3 of my items are fucking on a Shen, and they're fucking dog shit items. Like, I don't need the Morello. I don't need the Last Whisper. So I just have these useless items on the Shen, which would have been so much better if they were either tank items, or if they were able to be played on another unit, if I'm able to level for another 5 costs in a couple turns, right? But because the items aren't high quality, it makes it so that I'm not in a high cap scenario. And a lot of that was because of panic, right? Now, the Morello, it is what it is. I tried to reforge the Rabadons into something. I think my Twisted Fate with double attack speed is fine, because my Seraphine is the one that does all the one-shot damage. I just want Twisted Fate to ramp up, so I think it's an okay build for him. But the Last Whisper is just so bad. It's neither a tank item, it's not useful. It's a shitty utility item that I should have just never taken in the first place. But anyways, it's fine. We hit Braum 2. We're really strong. Now, if you notice, that other guy that with 7 HP lived long enough. I didn't fight him a single goddamn time. I swear to God, if I fought him when I had my full board ready, like on stage 4, I probably would have beat him. But no, this guy is 7 HP. He has a Yone 2 now. That person wins the game no matter what. You're going to see how close it is after. But obviously, I could have optimized my game to be a little bit better in these spots. But now I'm just a threat, right? Seraphine, though, you'll notice. Look at the Seraphine. And look how long it takes for her to get her damage off, right? We're 17 seconds. It's been 13 seconds into the fight. This unit takes half of the fight to get this ult off. No. Adaptive was not good enough. I did not realize it was that bad. I thought it was passable, right? It is not good. That is not good. Against a mech player, my Seraphine might die to the mech ult before she gets her cast off. Like, that is such a throw. I did not know it was that bad, but that's just me, lack of experience and not looking up. That's what I've been saying, right? So, like, if you think Adaptive is good enough, it is not fucking good enough. You need a blue buff. It has to be blue buff. My bad. With this setup with 6 Bastion, it has to be blue buff. Like, my fucking bad. I did not realize. right? So all those chances I had of getting a blue buff, I could have taken a blue buff over this stupid last whisper, and then I would have been in such a better spot. Like, I would have been in such a better spot. I could have just TG'd somebody else, and I could have put all my extra AP items on Zyra, right? Oh my god, man. It's so painful watching when you make mistakes and you know that it's a mistake. But anyways, Twisted Fate scaling. I'm going to try and level for Seraphine here. Or sorry, I'm trying to level for Syndra. Basically, I realized at this point that I fucked up and I need to level for a Prodigy. So instead of being able to level here for like a giga strong broken ass unit, like another 5 cost, I have to level for a Prodigy just to make my Seraphine like a passable unit now. Anyways, this guy's the mech player that I never got to fight. Now I fight him when he has Yone too. Feels bad. This guy's 7 HP. Look how broken this mech is. My entire front line is fucking dead with this stupid ass Radiant Spark. Does that look close? Is that fair, chat? Is that fair that I have Braum 2, Twisted Fate 2, Seraphine 2, triple item, my whole front line, fucking 6 Bastion, I just fucking get deleted that fast? Yeah, that guy won the game, right? The game's over. And I guarantee you I was bitching, right? I'm bitching the entire time here. Because this guy should have been dead, right? Obviously when he hit 7 mech, he's gonna win out. But like, somebody should have killed him before that. But no, everybody's playing like a degenerate. Everybody's going 9. I didn't get to fight him. And it's like, bro, what the fuck, man? It's so unlucky. But anyway, we can skip some of these fights here. Because now I'm basically just trying to go level 9. Oh, I want to see what I pick here. I think I pick a Warmogs. Yeah, I'm just trying to build tank items now. Right? I kind of accepted that those are my Zyra items. But like I said, these 3 shitty items on this Shen really makes it so that I don't cap very high. Because imagine if I had 3 good items on Shen. Or at least 2 good items on Shen. It would have made such a difference. Imagine if I had a better Seraphine item. Right? I just don't have good... My Seraphine build is so fucking trash. And it's only myself to blame. Obviously, Twisted Fate is scaling. So if I get Twisted Fate to like Orn Artifact level or something like that, I still have win conditions here. I think I want to put triple tank items on... Yeah, I make 3 good tank items here. So I make 3 items on Leona. Right? And then I can put the TG on another unit. Look at how strong my board is. And then I'm just trying to go... next turn, I'm going level 10. And I'm just playing the Syndra for Seraphine Prodigy. Because I don't think she's going to be able to keep up in terms of damage with all of these other boards. Right? Like, even this board, I'm not sure if we win or not. I think we win this, though. Because the Seraphine's so good at just deleting these front lines very fast. But yeah, she just takes way too long to cast. 15 seconds and she casts. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Then we get the double cast off because of Mage. Oh, I think I lose this. Do I lose this? Yeah, I think I lose this. Yeah. I lose. This guy's just up so many resources. But I'm pretty sure if my Seraphine casts earlier, I can win that as well. Maybe my Twisted Fate items are also bad. Here we just leveled at 10. We get in all the bonuses. I have a lesser duplicator, but I just can't use it for anything. And I use some of my free rerolls. I'm just trying to see if I can find a rel to duplicate or one of these front lines to duplicate. But at this point, we're basically guaranteed top 4. And we're basically guaranteed the win out. Or not the win out, but we're guaranteed a good placement, right? This guy, he's me, but like 10 times weaker. I have like 100 extra items on this guy. Even if he has... Oh, do I lose to the Lee Sin? The Lee Sin's in an awkward spot for me. He might wrap my Seraphine. Oh my, I think I lose that. I think I lose to this Lee Sin. No, I don't. Never mind. Now we're fine. Right, this guy I'm just stronger than. I get an extra item here again. Because I have the augment where every time somebody dies, I get an item, which is great. But yeah, just look again. I'm so stupid. I still don't take blue buff. Could you imagine I don't take blue buff here? After all that? Oh my god. You need to take blue buff. Even to this moment, I didn't realize how bad it was. I only realized after the game. Like, after the game, I looked it up, and I was like, wait, it actually is really bad. And then I counted the timing. Man, it took me... What a failure of a game. Even at this point, I didn't realize. I just thought that's how Seraphine was. Too stupid, man. I needed a blue buff on her for sure. But anyways, the mech player, nobody's gonna beat him now. It's over. Seraphine just takes too long. That one was better now because now I have Prodigy in, but like the mech just deletes my front line's deleted, right? Between all the other damage from all the other units, it just ends up being a second. But it's actually a pretty close one. Right, let's watch the final fight. But it is what it is. Mech's gone, so it's not something that will happen anymore. But the same thing could apply to any other board that has like a really good win condition. But look at this, man. It's so close. It's so close. I feel like blue buff... I don't think I would have won with blue buff anyways. But like, I might have had some more HP to play with. And I might have been able to like, maybe make it happen. But, you know, that's it. This is where my LP stands now. I'm probably not going to play any more games. Unless I just try stuff out next patch. But yeah, hopefully that was informative at least. I tried to point out my mistakes as well as everybody else's mistakes. Hopefully that was a nice, informative, Fast 9s kind of video. I know sometimes people like these videos where I do VOD reviews. Sometimes people hate them. But, you know, it is what it is. Have a great day. Have fun playing. And like I said, I'll be doing art on stream nowadays. So if you want to see me do art, you know, we're doing lots of Chainsaw Man art now. And then eventually some other stuff. I'm posting on Instagram as well. I'm just trying to get a head start. Usually art season is closer to spring. But because I don't like the set, I'm just getting a head start now. And then I can focus on the next set of TFT a little bit more. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.